MonuCore is an order management and operation software built specifically for the monument industry, monument companies, retailers, funeral homes, anybody that deals in monuments. In this video, I'm going to give you a full walkthrough of the platform, just real quick to give you some insight to what it's capable of. Some notes to mention is you can always get back to this dashboard area by clicking on the logo. So if you're in the customers area or anywhere on the platform, clicking this gets you back to there. Your name will open up a drop down that gets you into a lot of the administrative settings for the solution. Let's get into orders. This is where you'll see all your active orders. You can also access your archives and see any of your deleted orders that are in the 30 days. So you can delete an order permanently, or you can delete it with a 30-day retention that holds on to it for 30 days. In case you do need to restore it, you can do so easily through this tab here. I don't have any, but I think that's pretty straightforward. This is the order detail drawer, and this is the action items. These action items are specific to this order. The order detail drawer will get you access to all the details for this order. And let's go ahead and open that. Some things about the order detail drawer is this drawer is available throughout the platform in different areas such as purchasing and proof management. When you open the detail drawer in those areas, you will not be able to make edits. It's for viewing only. The only area that you can make edits is through the orders table access of the detail drawer. To make edits, simply click the icon, make a change, and you do have to check the green check mark to commit those changes. This is where you can keep notes. This is where you can assign the cemetery. Cemeteries, I encourage to add the GPS location so that you have a map. This will come in handy for the installation crews when they build their loads, and it opens up some mapping functionalities that I'll show you at a later time. Instructions. This is for the installer. This is where you'll add all the inscriptions for a monument. I think we have enough information here to capture almost every scenario with most monuments. If there's something else we can add to this, just let me know. Design. This is any notes related to the design, such as design ID, any or parts associated with the order. Let me demonstrate some things here. You can add parts a couple of different ways. You can do it individually. You want to add a granite, you select the color, enter the sizes and shapes. I won't do that. We're going to cancel. Another thing is you can add it from the package catalog, which MonuCore comes with a pre-built catalog of colors. You can add your own, of course. Let's add a 4020 with vases. So that created that package. You can also add things that is not granite, and you can set this list up for however you want. So I've added porcelain photos here. We're going to do an oval 4x6. Add it. So that's part of the parts. And now will show up when I go to purchasing. Invoice. This is where you add all your line items associated with the order, your contract. We go back to parts. You can also import the parts from the calculation. We have a a very robust calculator that we use daily for calculating monument prices on the fly. So if you did a calculation for this customer, you can come here and import all the parts and line items associated with that. Invoice, you set your tax location here. Payment, so this is where you record payments. If you are set up with Stripe, you can send the payment to the customer. We're also integrating some other payment processors. You can set up different payment plans that you often use with your customers. And you can also just do a one-time manual payment. Assets, this is going to be anything that you want to store with this order. Any information, photos that the customer provides, you would save it here. Proofs that are, we'll create one here in a little bit. So proofs are proofs that exist. Approvals are going to be proofs that are approved or rejected. MonuDraw are going to be any designs that was created with the MonuDraw designer. Activity, this is records all actions associated with the order. So you can kind of see a history of edits that's been made. And before we go do a design, I wanted to show you something. This, obviously this will close the drawer. This creates a link to the customer portal. And so you can email that link to your customer. They can paste or click on it and it will open up their order in the portal. So here they can see all the details, their designs. We haven't created a proof yet. If they want to send a link, this will send them a link to where they can go to the cemetery and take a picture of the grave. It will record the GPS location of the grave and the photo. That photo will show up here, and then it will store the GPS location, which is very helpful for the installers. This is going to be where if they want to upload some files for you, they can do that here. They can make a payment if you're connected with the payment processor. If not, this won't work. They can control some notification settings. Consents are very important with texting, and they can see their message history here. So this is pretty handy. We have a lot of customers that enjoy having access to this. And then if you are wired up to some of the communication tools, you can open up the communications tab here and send and receive, see all the messages for that customer or for that order. And then we'll close out of the detail drawer. Let's try and create a proof real quick. So for 225 action items, let's open MonuDraw. I'm gonna create a panel. And add some text. And then we want to save this. We want to save it to the Mayberry order. And we can close out of that. Now when we go back to Mayberry and open the MonuDraw, That design shows up there. And we can do different versions, but we decide this is what the customer wants. So we're going to use this as a proof. That's the front. We add it to the proofs. Now it shows up in the proofs tab. And this is where we can click this little email. We can send it to the customer. The customer doesn't have an email address, so it's not going to allow us to send it to anybody. We can send it to ourselves. And we can create a marketing image, which that didn't work. I'll look into that. And then when they approve the proof, let's see if we can go ahead and approve it. We'll just generate the link. And then, so this is what the customer will see. And then so the customer can make comments. They can draw some things here. And then they can approve it with comments, or reject it. So we'll approve it with comments. Now it shows up as an approved proof. It lets you know that it's approved, but they did make some comments. And you can see what those comments are there. You can download a PDF or the image, give that to your shop, but there's another way of doing that. And that pretty much covers the orders. Over here on the left side, we have a tagger system. So you can create these tags yourself. We have several that we use. Smart tags, I'll explain that in another video. Those are automated tags that auto apply when certain conditions exist. And then tasks. So this is where you can assign a task to another individual. So I just created a task, and then that will show up in my task list. Oops, better fix that. And then what else? Okay, I think that's enough there. Conversations, this is going to be if you're communicating with your customers through MonuCore. Then customers is simply where you can access the database of all your customers. Production approvals, this is for the field crew. Estimator, that's under construction. Proofs, these are all proofs that you're working on. So all your orders would be here. This is where your designer would manage all the different versions. So if we wanted to upload a different proof here, this now becomes the current version. And then you can send that to the customer. See, MonuCalc, this is the price calculator. This also deserves a dedicated video, but real quick, we'll select a color. We're going to load a template MonuCore comes with quite a few pre-built templates, and that preloads all the parts. We're going to add a design fee. Calculate the price. And this gives you all your pricing breakdown if you're into that kind of thing. Then, like I said earlier, you can import that into a new order. I'm going to go back to orders here. I want to see the contract. This is a demo account, so I'm not sure what some of these things are going to produce. So that's where you can print a contract. You can set your own terms and conditions. And this is the QR code that customer can use to go out to the cemetery and record the GPS location of the gravesite. And then production docs. This is what we use to, let's see, Maryberry. This is what we give to the shop when we release it for production. So we'll print this off and give it to the shop crew, foreman. And let's go back to dashboard. Catalog. This is going to be where you can build your own catalog for pricing. Of course, these prices aren't right. I haven't configured the calculation method in this demo account yet. Then MonuDraw, we already saw that. So you can access MonuDraw either from the dashboard or from within the order itself. MonuNiche, this is for managing columbariums. So you can design a columbarium and then you can start doing designs for the individual niches. Purchasing, this is where you'll order. Jackson has some items that need to be ordered. Or this is parts on order. This is stuff that we've already ordered. This is where, if you have any orders that have, let's go ahead and add some. Mayberry is not ordered. Let's see if we go back to purchasing. It's ordered. Not ordered. Well, I forgot how to get it to show up there. I'll have to work on that in a minute. But anyway, any orders would show up here, inventory orders, and then you can manage containers if you import your own containers. Got a bug there I need to fix. Inventory. This is where you'll keep track of all your inventory items. Then you can also pull from inventory from the order detail drawer. Cemeteries, this is where you manage your cemeteries. Like I said, you want to be sure and record the GPS location. It just makes for a better experience. Let me know if you need any instructions on how to do that. Vendors, it's where you can add and maintain your vendors that you normally work with. Reports, this is going to be some things like your unset sales, accounts receivable, cost to complete. This is where you can access your payroll. We do have a time clock feature. Which I think is up here. I don't have it turned on in the settings, but that's where you would have your employees clock in, clock out, and then you can send your payroll at the end of the pay period to your accountant or do your own payroll. Submit it to QuickBooks. Metrics, this is where you can do some quick filters for how many monuments did you sell last week, last month, how many did you set yesterday, things of that nature. And containers, we already covered that a little bit. Field completion, so whenever the field crew completes a photo, it's going to maintain a gallery of all your completion photos. In the field crew, let's see, I don't have anybody set up. There's no orders ready to be set, so this is where your field crew would select from available orders to be installed, and it will give them a map of everything that's ready to set, and then when they build their load, it would show them their map, their route, give them an estimated completion time for that load for that day. And let's see. Under app settings, this is where you'll configure all your platform settings. I'll do another video on how to do all of that. Then admin, this is where you can set up some integrations, connect to QuickBooks, to Zero Accounting, go high level for some robust communication. If you want to SMS text message your customers, this is where you'll need to get Go High Level set up, because it does work through that platform. Connect with Stripe. Now, invoices, customers' payments, you don't have to come here and sync. It will automatically sync. I think it looks every 5 minutes and syncs any changes for these categories. Tax rates, you will need to manually update your tax rates through this area here. Go back to the dashboard. And I think that's enough for this video. I will be putting out more videos getting into each of these items in more detail. So that is just a quick overview of where we're at today as of March 2026. Thank you.